The impact of GTA 6 is gonna be so unbelievably massive that people are gonna stop even talking about my autofill barber. And no, I did not do this myself. Thanks for asking, though. I appreciate you caring. In any case, the world is not ready for GTA 6. And the world is even less ready if GTA 6 turns out to be an absolute woke disaster. The fear of many, and a fear that's still somehow growing and growing. And currently, GTA 6 is potentially close to being announced. Now, granted, before every GTA 6 announcement, there's a delay, so we're gonna have to see how that one works out. But we are getting there. And I don't think people are ready.
So this might be news to some, most probably not, but it is that the video game industry is struggling. You're seeing many studios shutting down, many games being shut down, and
absolutely love to see it. Boys, do not believe the lies the corporate media and other paid personas are telling you about, oh no, the games industry is doing bad. It's not. It's doing great, in fact. You know who's shutting down? The people who never appreciated us. The people who never wanted to make things that we like. The people who spat on things that we said are important. Those are the studios that are shutting down. Yes, that does include BioWare, Ubisoft, and a lot of other old-time favorites of many, but that time has passed. Now these studios are husks of what they once were, and they disgust me. And I feel absolutely nothing bad. I feel actually great knowing that a lot of these studios are going under, shutting down, and becoming obsolete, because they never deserved our compassion, our loyalty, our fandom in the first place. They hated us.
tons and tons of layoffs, as well as just gamers in general not spending as much on newer or just expensive AAA games. This is actually some recent news that came from this article from VGC, in which it said 62% of hardcore players no longer buy full-price games, survey suggests. And that data is something that's been reported over the years. There was another report a while ago that said that gamers are only buying maybe 1 or 2 new games per year. That is alarming, especially with the younger generation that isn't as interested in these newer titles, and a lot of them spending a lot of their time in Fortnite and Roblox, experiences in which
Fortnite's also dying, by the way. I asked my what's it called when, you know, your cousin has a kid and the kid's a male? And you know, what is his relation to me? Is he like my nephew or something? Whatever. That's for the librarians. But he said that Fortnite's doing horribly. They effed it up. Over small increments at a time, Fortnite completely destroyed why people liked it in the first place. They effectively just decided, hey, we're gonna remove skill. And now everyone, including Janet, who's a quadruple amputee, a literal nugget, could even play Fortnite to a reasonable degree through one of those blow straw things that somehow can control the character, whatever. Yeah, Fortnite decided that that's their audience. And everyone else can go somewhere else. And everyone else did go somewhere else.
no, you don't have to cough up $70 for a new game. There's just tons of new experiences to play with the UGC content that those games provide. And that is a crisis for the video game industry, especially where the console growth and just console games in general are no longer growing anymore. It has stagnated. But this specific report from VGC outlined that according to the report, 38% of millennials and 42% of Gen Z said that they still buy full-price games, but only 20% of Gen X said that they would. So it's not even just the younger generation, it's also some of the older generation that are just not interested in what the video game industry is providing. Some of that has to do with the content and the games that are being sent to the market, which is, yeah, a lot of live services and such, but it also has to do with the just the times of changing. Now, commenting on the report, the game business's Christopher Drink said it reflected a market where consumers have more than ever to play, and less demand to rush out to buy new releases that could also be unpolished at launch, which is another problem with this video game industry. The market has shifted. Consumers are full in terms of things to play, watch, and read, plus games have a habit of launching unfinished or in need of a patch or two. So, considering those two factors,
The biggest thing is most people who are 30 and up at this point just have a library of replayable games. If I never bought a game in my life at this point for the rest of it, I would still probably be fine. Because I have a library that I can replay for decades, probably. Decades. Literally, just between all the Fallouts that I have years of enjoyment.
have to rush out day one and purchase a game isn't there in the way it used to be. The upside is that games are living for longer, and it's not unusual for big games to sell for years and decades. And that's why when we're talking about Steam charts and we're looking at games like Baldur's Gate 3 or Cyberpunk 2077, and then obviously you can get to the live service arena and all of those experiences as well. But yes, a lot of people are sticking to the games that they enjoy. When you have these massive RPGs like Crimson Desert that just released, people are spending hundreds upon hundreds of hours in those games and not rushing out for the new product that the video game industry is pushing on the market. That is a problem, especially with an industry that is trying to grow, and you have so many different studios spending hundreds and upon hundreds of millions of dollars on each game. And yeah, when one of those games doesn't do all that well, it means death for a lot of these studios. Now, Christopher Dring's remarks to VGC did continue. He said there is a generational shift. Although I am cautious of drawing too many conclusions here, a lot of the buying and playing habits of older gamers might be due to the fact that they have less time and more money, versus younger generations where the opposite is true. We'll see how that plays out over time.
But younger generations have the same problem that we had when we were kids. We don't have the money to buy things. Well, they don't have the money to buy things. We do, but we don't. But they don't have the money to buy things. They can only go to the Epic Store and claim their free stuff and leave.
No matter what, though, there is a problem, and the video game industry is not growing. Yes, maybe people are playing more mobile games and such, but we're talking about these AAA experiences, those $70 games, the ones you'll see on Best Buy or GameStop and such. No, they're not increasing, and things have halted the last number of years, and that has spooked a lot of people. We've heard that in the past from Xbox's former head, Phil Spencer, who said that they were losing this generation with people for the attention span. That's why he said that they weren't competing with Nintendo anymore or PlayStation. It was the fact that they are competing against the entire entertainment scene, that precious attention that everybody is striving for. Now, that's why we get into Grand Theft Auto 6. It's very interesting because this is probably the most highly anticipated game of all time. We're probably going to be getting a reveal or some news in the...
Bro, again, aliens are less interesting than this, because everyone has accepted aliens, but GTA 6 actually releasing now, that's hard to believe.
Coming days. It's been a year. We have not heard anything. But Strauss Zelnick, who is the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, which is the parent company of Rockstar Games, he's been talking a lot more about GTA 6 as of late. And yeah, analysts right now saying that GTA 6 could sell over 25 million copies on day one. Just insane. But he did admit...
Wait, hasn't this gone up? Isn't this closer to what I said, that it's going to sell 100 million copies in the first month?
That they have the expectations are terrifying to him right now, and that's for good reason, because all of the pressure in the world is on Rockstar Games to nail this launch, to nail this experience. They've been working on this game for 8 years. We'll see what happens. I'm encouraged by what I've seen, but definitely this is one of those games that they have to get right, because they're aiming for more than those 200 million sales that they got with GTA 5. That is just... I think it's one of the most sold games of all time. I think it's like top 3. And reaching those heights again, it's not easy. Now, with that said, though, it's very interesting, the price conversation, because the price conversation surrounding Grand Theft Auto 6 has not slowed down. This has been endless the last year or two. But Strauss Zelnick was again asked about this, again, amidst $100 rumors. Take-Two won't comment on GTA 6's price yet. This is another interview
Oh, wow, they haven't actually said anything about the price. That's wild. I thought they did come out and say that it's not gonna be one hundo. That is wild.
That Strauss Zelnick did, speaking to IGN. Consumers pay for the value that you bring to them, and our job is to charge way, way less of the value delivery. How you feel about something you buy is the intersection of the thing itself and what you pay for. Consumers need to feel like the thing itself is amazing, the price they were charged was fair for what they got. And that doesn't say a lot, but that's what Strauss Zelnick does in a lot of these. I definitely don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be charging $100, but I definitely don't think it's going to be at that status quo of 70. It's probably going to be 80. That's my assumption, but that doesn't mean that everybody is in
70, 80 seems like the most realistic outcome for GTA.
agreement with that, because a lot of people in the video game industry want Grand Theft Auto 6 to set a new standard. These are actually remarks coming from a Bank of America analyst who said that Grand Theft Auto 6 should be $80, not for the reasons that you think though. He says so it doesn't make everyone else's $70 games look bad. The industry would have difficulty selling games for $80.
And there you go. The industry specialist said the quiet part out loud again. The fact that most $70 games are horseshit. There you go. That's just how it is.
$80 if GTA 6 came out at 70, which tells you the mindset of all these Wall Street people. They are just so desperate. They are waiting for that one game to increase prices across the board because it means more and more money for them. Now, these specific remarks came from Bank of America stock analyst Omar Dasuki, who said, and this is according to Seeking Alpha, that his team heard from attendees that the industry, which is perceiving as struggling, would have difficulty selling games for $80 if GTA 6 came out at 70. We think it's in Take-Two's self-interest.
Oh my god, no one literally cares about most games that are currently $70. GTA has nothing to do. GTA is not gonna make you look worse. It's not about 70, 80, 60, 90, or whatever dollars. It's about just the title of AAA in general. It's the fact that AAA in general is not trustworthy and good enough for whatever price they are asking.
As a publisher and partner to many developers to raise the price point for the entire industry. So it's not about Grand Theft Auto 6 just being this monumental release. It needs to set a new standard in terms of pricing. This is what they are hoping for. But while this Bank of America analyst is saying this is not the first financial analyst that we've heard chime in, because last year we also heard similar things coming from another analyst who said that there's actually hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost as much as $100. These remarks coming from Matthew Ball of Epilon, and he released at the time a State of Video Gaming last year.
Yeah, the $100 thing, I actually wanted so much. Because if GTA 6 is $100, and all the other shitty AAA companies start putting their stuff up, I'm gonna love it, boys. I am gonna absolutely love a decision like that, because that is the worst thing they could do. They're already not making the sales that they want, the sales that they need. And if GTA prompts them to now sell things at $100, I mean, by the way, we're not even talking about the fact that Mario Kart, the game that literally has not done anything different in 20 years, is $90 by Nintendo. Well, Nintendo's a failing company at this point, so that doesn't say a lot, but still.
If not more dollars, which is just insane. But yet another developer that chimed in was actually the Saints Row director, saying that GTA 6 deserves to be $100. Not all games are created equal. This is Chris Stock.
The guy who destroyed the Saints Row franchise by making it a woke millennial story? Oh yeah, I definitely want the opinions of these people. We all are already afraid that GTA 6 is gonna be woke. I mean, you have these sprinkles all over it, right? Lucy's gonna be the brawly fight melee things combat character, because obviously women are stronger than men. I don't know if you're following sciences, but they say that women are in fact stronger than men. And I believe, I'm a man of science. I believe that stuff, okay? I didn't say anything. And many other things. The invulnerable pride parades would be I mean, that would probably be that would probably make GTA 6 slip down to like a 60 or 50% positive review score on Steam if that gets discovered that that's real. I mean, at this point, we have had a lot of confirmation about this, but again, nothing's really 100% proven at this point, right? And, well, other things. The fact that your best friend is like a joke character. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of this nitty gritty storytelling that honestly GTA even had, you know, between all of the three main characters. This seems three characters, but they're kind of like very one dimensional. I mean, the story in general does seem a little bit one dimensional, does it not? You have the gag character and the romantic relationship thingamajig. But you're also, by the way, a cuck because Lucy has a child, and that child is not yours, my friend. It is what it is. And a lot of other things like that, it seems like. GTA 6 definitely is suffering. Imagine, by the way, before GTA 6 reveals, we get the news that Anita Sarkeesian has worked on GTA 6. Imagine the world. The world would literally implode. Now, the world is completely imploding if GTA 6 is not up to scratch. I think it's going to be hard in general to live up to the expectations, but to be honest, it's not like it's hard to live up to the expectations. Most of the time when the game needs to live up to expectations, it's just a bad game, so no one really likes it in general. And it's not that the reason why it's hard to live up to expectations, right? It's just the game's bad. No one one is really expecting GTA to make you play 48 hours the first time you sit down and forget that life exists and not eat, drink, or shit. That's not how it works, right? In any case, the GTA situation is definitely kind of wild. And people are afraid. People are scared. And I support that. Anyway, that was Legacy Kill HD 10 out of 10. Bye.